인도는 음악에 대한 그런 민족적인 자긍심이 굉장히 뛰어난 나라이기 때문에 그 나라에 우리가 갔을 때 우리의 음악을 완전히 받아들여줄 수 있을까에 대한 두려움도 사실은 있었고.
What will become in 5 years? Maybe India will be real rich, like China built everything in few years. We have to think about 5 years later, 10 years later.
We don't know what will happen if an act like BTS or EXO or GOT7 or BLACKPINK come here, but I go to Korea and I have meetings with artists and officials and I'm trying to tell them that India is ready.
K-pop has been growing exponentially. One index of it is the amount of overseas concerts that are happening for K-pop groups. This is BTS's upcoming concert schedule. I know, it's crazy. And groups like BLACKPINK that only have a couple dozen songs are going on world tours. Recently, even rookie group ITZY went on their showcase tour in the US. Despite this influx of concert tours, not everyone is satisfied. For instance, India, who has the largest population in the world next to China, is not to be found on most of the world tour plans. It would be logical for a K-pop company to target this massive audience and profit from it, but why don't they? Why do K-pop groups go to China and the US but not India? Many subscribers wanted an answer for this, so I called up some experts I know in the K-pop field that might be able to give us some insight about this issue. First, let's hear from a former YG Entertainment employee that was in charge for Big Bang and G-Dragon's world tour.
제가 가장 메인으로 맡았던 프로젝트는 빅뱅 프로젝트였고요. 아무래도 마지막 콘서트인 만큼 어떤 식으로 컨셉을 짤 건지에 대해서부터 이제 실질적인 공연에서 벌어지는 행사들, 그리고 구성들, 그리고 협찬권까지 같이 진행을 했었던 걸로 기억합니다.
공연 기획의 프로세스에 대해서 한번 말씀해 주실 수 있을까요?
우리가 수익성을 만들어야 돼서 할 수도 있는 거고, 아티스트들이 국내에만 머물러 있을 수는 없으니까 해외 쪽으로 음반을 낸다든지 해외 팬들을 만난다든지 그런 식의 수요로 인해서 실제로 진행을 했었던 거고요. 그리고 일반적으로는 아티스트들이 진짜 팬들을 만나고 싶어서 하는 경우가 많기 때문에 어느 팬이 많고 그래서 이 나라에 가고 싶다라고 얘기를 하는 경우들도 있었던 걸로 기억을 합니다. 그래서 당시에 저희가 알아봤었던 게 싱가포르를 가장 중심적으로 했었고요. 다양한 인종분들이 이렇게 모이는 장소다 보니까 이쪽으로 수익성이 있겠다라고 판단을 해서 내부적으로 싱가포르 페스티벌을 기획을 했었던 걸로 기억하고, 공연을 얼마나 즐길 준비가 돼 있는가도 사실 저희가 공연을 가는 기준이 되기도 하는데 유튜브도 굉장히 많이 모니터링을 하는 편이에요. 조회수, 소셜 반응을 통해서 많이 체크를 하고 있는 편이고, 그런 것들을 기반으로 저희가 시장성이 있는지를 많이 체크를 했었습니다. 제가 일했던 2017년도만 해도 인도는 한류 불모지라고 불렸었고, 그런 불모지라고 불리는 곳에 우리가 간다는 것 자체가 도전이었기 때문에 그 당시에 YG 아티스트들이 갈 수 없었던 거는 그런 편견 때문에 그런 영향이 좀 크지 않았을까라는 생각도 사실은 들고요. 인도는 음악에 대한 그런 민족적인 자긍심이 굉장히 뛰어난 나라이기 때문에 그 나라에 우리가 갔을 때 우리의 음악을 완전히 받아들여줄 수 있을까에 대한 두려움도 사실은 있었고, 제가 최근에 유튜브에서 보기로는 BTS에 대한 그 인도 사람들의 관심이 굉장히 뜨거워지고 있기 때문에 연예 소속사나 그냥 공연을 준비하는 측에서는 충분히 이 시장성을 고려해 볼 만하지 않을까. 그리고 아무래도 그들이 음악을 정말 좋아하는 민족이다 보니까 공연을 즐기는 몇 가지의 영상을 봤을 뿐인데 진짜 너무 즐겁게 노는구나 인도 사람들은, 그런 거를 저는 느꼈었거든요. 만약에 YG가 뿐만이 아니라 SM 어디든지 공연을 한다고 했을 때 그들과 함께 너무 즐겁게 아티스트들이 즐길 수 있어서 아티스트들 입장에서는 너무 함께하고 싶은 국가가 아닐까라는 생각을 저는 감히 한번 해보고요.
Okay, that was a point of view from one of the biggest K-pop labels in Korea. I guess showing your love and support for the artists so that they can enjoy and feel comfortable while they're in that country is a crucial factor. Also, how acceptable K-pop is in that country would be the determining factor. So the question is India actually ready to accept K-pop? Or is it still hostile and a wasteland for K-pop? Let's hear from Riddhi, Indian K-pop journalist from Rolling Stone, India.
I think it is bigger than it has ever been. 2 years ago, I would not have hesitated in saying that it was small. But as soon as I think BTS blew up in late 2017, early 2018, there has been this massive jump in the amount of fans, conversations around K-pop. Especially with Rolling Stone, our numbers are more than tripled in terms of how much hits we get and things like that on our pages. Now that we are seeing a lot of mainstream platforms, say music channels and radio cover K-pop, we don't know where it's gonna go. but it's definitely big. My friends and I, we were at Burger King and they started playing BTS's Best of Me. Another table also looked up and recognized the song, and we all sort of found each other like that. That was a moment in my time as a fan as well as a journalist where I was like, wow, this is solid. This is here. Come to the point where random strangers are connecting over it. In terms of merch, we don't really have a lot because shipping to India is extremely expensive. Fans try to show their love for K-pop and the artists in other ways. I know like streaming isn't exactly physical, but it's the best that they can do. And also fan meetings. Every time I see one happening, even the smallest cities, the number is just growing and growing and growing. If I'm being honest, no. Not yet. I attended BTS Stadium show in Bangkok. I saw what it takes. You need a minimum of 40,000 people to fill a stadium. Not just the number of fans, but even the production that it takes. I don't know if we're ready for that. So we have had a couple of smaller shows, which are auditorium shows. VAV was most recent, and Card, we'll see how many people will actually show up. It's been smaller groups who maybe a lot of people might not think it's worth investing in. When it's a bigger group, a lot of people in Korea and India are also curious to see what's going to happen, what the turnout's going to be. I'm a little bit worried about ticket sales and ticket pricing, and it's something that we worry about a lot when you plan concerts in India because the system is so different from anywhere else. I did speak to a lot of professionals in Korea, like from labels, about ticketing, and they were shocked to hear that you cannot charge $60 to $80 for a ticket in India. You have to go down, like at starting price, you know? So they have to think about, is this worth them taking the risk to go down there? Is it worth for sponsors to invest in? Because if you're not getting a profit out of it, a lot of sponsors won't be interested in doing it. But right now for India, they have to take the risk, funding a show and not expecting money out of it. And that's difficult to convince sponsors who don't have enough faith in K-pop yet. Mumbai. I know I'm a little bit biased because that's my city, but also it's the media hub of India. Mumbai's audience is very open-minded. You know, this is happening this weekend, let's go check it out. This crowd is going to be less likely to say, nah man, I don't care about that. If it's priced reasonably, they'll be like, alright, cool, I'll come with you and I'll check it out. And then it would be the Northeast. Since the early 2000s, since Bollywood was banned over there, so they turned to K-dramas and Korean music for entertainment. For them, K-pop is the norm. Yeah, you have to announce your ticketing at least 2 to 3 months in advance. Even me as a fan, I am a grown woman with a salary, and yet it is difficult to fly to other cities to see concerts. EXO or BTS, if any of them come here, if it's not in my city, I still want to see them, right? So I want to book my plane ticket, I want to book my accommodation. I will go there if I am given enough time to plan all these things out. You can't open ticketing only a month in advance and expect a massive audience, because the point is you want to bring people from all over India. You want to give them the opportunity to be able to plan and attend these shows, because seeing these artists, it's such a once in a lifetime sort of thing. Show organizers in general need to know this. Open your ticketing and have all your info out a good 2 months in advance. Also, I think because the audience is so young in India, there's a lot of debating with your parents and negotiating and saving up your own money. Like if you have pocket money, like saving that up and saying like, I want to go for this. I think there is a lot of fear. I feel it goes both ways. We don't know what will happen if an act like BTS or EXO or GOT7 or BLACKPINK come here that's so big. But at the same time, India is so big. Again, difficult for fans to travel. What's the turnout going to be for a show like this? Even their companies and their teams, it's like a shock to the system. Oh, you can't go and do the same setup that you're doing in the US and UK. You have to change your stage setup and customize it for India. So many fans are like, but we're streaming, look at our numbers. Like, companies will not see that as evidence of, oh, we should go there, because they will look at things like ticket sales of events that have already happened, like not just K-pop culture, that is standard for musicians globally. They see previous events in a country, they say, okay, we can do that too. Right now, India is ground zero in that sense for K-pop. This year, because so many groups have been coming down, there's a small bank of information being created, which is being sent to these companies. Now, when a company from India wants to propose a deal, they have a few numbers to present to them. This is how well Intuit did, or this is how well VAV did. Try and see how well your group does. a couple of years. I don't think we're that far away. Right now, sponsors are like, I don't want to give my money because I don't know enough about this genre. I don't know enough about these artists. As we are growing as a fandom in general, as we are able to educate people more about the industry on both sides, India and Korea, like that's what I'm trying to do now, where I go to Korea and I have meetings with artists and officials, and I'm trying to tell them that India's ready. If we build a base, a strong foundation, I feel like in a good 5 years, we'll have regular touring. The idols will definitely talk about it themselves, right? So it becomes a point of conversation where idols will also ask each other, companies will ask each other, like, what was India like? And then they'll gauge from there on, like, should we send this artist or that artist? It's looking good.
Now we've heard that K-pop is getting bigger in India and that it's ready for the concerts. In short, the people, or the Indians, are ready. But as Riddhi mentioned, the technical or business side of work seems not to be ready yet. There are a lot of risks for companies and concert producers to take. So I've invited a friend who's a concert producer who's taken the risk and is pioneering into the European K-pop market with his own company. Let's hear his story and thoughts about future concerts in India.
So we started last year with a group called Marmelo. We invited the Rose. We did concert with Mont. A few weeks ago we did the In-Flying concert, the only date in Europe. So it was really huge concert. So when I started, it was really like I really wanted to help the Marmelo group. I thought they had really good talent. And I really wanted to do something for them, like trying to bring them in France. These days, just like I want to bring the best for the artist and for the fans. We are not here to just make money. We are here to give the best experience for the artist. Not only the concert, but also when they visiting the city, they drinking good wine or champagne, good food and everything. And also for the fans, because they can meet their group. We can do like fan sign events. We trying to keep the price really low. So of course, as a small company, it's always kind of stressful to talk with them because Koreans usually don't have the same way to think about concert in France or concert in Europe. The more I showed them that if we're doing this way for the fans and everything, then we can grow their fandom. Every company, I had to just like asking first about European concert and everything. Now that we did several concerts and we had really wonderful review from the fans in France, we have some companies contacting us directly. For the moment, I'm trying to bring girl group in France because we have a lot of boy group. 3 groups, CLC and Everglow. My dream is Mamamoo. First, we thinking about the venue size before thinking about the price. How many people we can get. So usually we seeing like YouTube charts numbers where this video clip come from. Like after that, we seeing the size of the fandom on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They always have like a French fandom for every group. So after that, of course we have to find a good date. Maybe that's the main problem in Paris, especially like a Saturday for next month. It's pretty impossible to find. So you have to rent the venue like 4 or 5 months before. Now we're thinking about the price. Which service we can bring to the fans? Like, do we do iTouch? Do we do fan sign events? Do we bring albums for free for the fans? Depends also about the price the company asks. If they ask a lot of money, then the price of the ticket will be higher. If they ask low price, then we can put it low price too. Depends also how many staff members they bring in the airplane, because we have to pay for everything. Plane ticket, for the hotel, the food, just everything. After they leave Korea, everything is our charge. If you pay more than 60 euro, for me it's not good for the fans. Like you're just thinking about the money. You're not thinking about the service you're giving to the fan. Some concerts are not profitable because we are a small company. Our main goal is not to make a lot of money with the concert. We just love to do concerts. It's like the feeling you have when you're creating something amazing, when you see all the fans jumping, crying, screaming. And of course, there is some concert you can make a bit of money, and some concert you're losing money because you invest a lot. When you work with FNC or when you want to work with bigger company, of course you have to invest a lot. Like you need a beautiful light stage, you need a beautiful sound stage, you want to bring a lot of things to the fan. For me, I just want to make them think like that was perfect. All the concerts we done until now, like even In-Flying, we always seeing this as investment. If we make like a 0 profit, we are already happy for the first year. If the company tells us it was perfect, it was really nice to work with you guys, I'm just the happiest guy of the world. Later, we will see if we make bigger concert, if we make big festival. Of course, we will make money. I mean, like any company needs to. We need to pay people, translator, videos, poster, and everything. So I want to pay people the price I want to pay them. I want my company to be the one Korean company can trust, like 100%. If they want to do a concert in France, they call us directly and say, we need your professional side. I'm trying to make partnership also in Europe with other concert producer, a team, Europe team, Germany, Holland. Okay. So I can bring a big package and give it to the music company. I saw many countries doing concert that I was never thinking of. Like when I was talking with Mont, they did a concert in Israel. They didn't even debut it. They just did one video on YouTube. They had 1,300 coming at the concert. 1,300 in Israel. Maybe India is the same. If there is one K-pop concert, everyone will just like, whoa, maybe this is the only time I can see a K-pop group. Even if they're not a big fan of this group, they came in their country, they're just thinking, we have to go. We have to show that we support K-pop in India. Korean companies, they're not thinking the international market in the good way because they worked a lot with the Asian market like Vietnam, Thailand, China, and Japan. They worked for many years in those countries. We have to show them that we want to go. We have to show them that we want to do a performance there. Pretty sure many Indians will be like, oh, this group is coming. I will stand them because they show they want to do something in India. So I will follow them. I will try to listen to their music. And if they start to work with Indian influencers, for example, okay, guys, there is someone coming in India. I really support this group because as YouTubers, for example, I really like their song. So I think India have to show the same way. Like, even if it's a small group coming, you have to show your support and go to the concert and say, guys, see, there is 1,000 people coming for this group. Can you imagine if we have bigger group coming? Because Korean company, they won't study by themselves. They won't say like, oh, let's think about India. Let's see if there is a good market in India. They won't do that. They're just waiting some results. They're just waiting that someone told them that India is a good market. They don't want to take the risk to be the first, usually. South America was a market for small and medium group a few years ago, and like VAV, card or everything. And because they had huge result there, then the big groups started to say like, oh, maybe we can do something huge. And they started to do tour in South America. The same with Europe. Like this year we had 50 concerts in France. And if I have a message for all the international fans waiting for their groups to come to their country, even if it's not your favorite group, you have to show some support. I know it's really hard sometimes to pay the hotel, to pay the train, and to pay the place. But if you can do it, you have to show your support. Because the concert producer will think like, oh, maybe I should put more money, maybe I should put more effort to put better group in our country. Like for N-Flying concert, I had people from Italy, I had people from Spain, all around Europe. They're willing to pay, but the service you give them at the end have to be perfect. You just don't give them just concert. You have to give them experience. That during the day there is some stuff to do around the concert, some influencer coming in the concert so people can talk with their favorite influencer. That's the day they want to spend. They care that their money is value something. As a concert producer, I always think like I have to support small group because maybe this small group today now they have hundreds of people coming at the concert, but who knows that in 4 or 5 years later they will become huge group. And suddenly they want to come back to France. And they will think like, oh, this company really helped us when we were really small. They gave us really VIP service. We went to a really good restaurant. I want to work with them. And they contact me as a big group. And they say, we want to work again with you. For me, the most important is to see the living cost. Maybe like in US, people have a lot of money because they're working and the salary is really high. If you go to Australia, the minimum salary is really high. So for example, if you do concert in this country, maybe it's good to put higher price for the concert. If we talk about India, the salary is really low and everything. So each part has to understand that if you want to reach this country, you have to follow their rules. You don't have to put really expensive tickets because people can't just buy it. Every part has to think like, okay, this year, maybe we have to put the price really low for this country because we want to target this market. Like you told me VAV is going to India, they're doing the good stuff. Because if you put 20 euro, for example, for a place in India right now, what will become in 5 years? Maybe India will be really rich, like China built everything in few years. We have to think about 5 years later, 10 years later, we will have like a beautiful market. In India in 5 years, thousands of people will come, and maybe they're willing to pay $40 for a concert. Everyone can be happy, but at the beginning, everyone has to make effort